Hey y'all, hey, happy hump day. It is officially Wednesday. We in the middle of the week and I could not be more excited. Sorry about having to reschedule from yesterday. Y'all already know Meta was straight tripping. I guess everybody needed to know the tea, and that's why everybody was on at the same time and just the whole system's crashed. But anyways, welcome to another episode of the In Love Show, where all things are love and all things are conversation. I am your host, Miss Nicole Rochelin, and I'm so excited about tonight's conversation. Now, this conversation hits home for me because the topic is, does love have a size? Now, before we get into this thing, let me just tell y'all a little bit of background information before I introduce you to my guest, my special guest that I have tonight. But let me tell you, does love have a size? Well, let me tell you, my own experience was I was dating somebody and he told me if I was not the size I was, I could be dating a millionaire. What a funny thing to say. But how dare he put love on my size? It doesn't change who I am. But there is a societal pressure today that does put these pressures on women out here, men out here, individuals out there who is not built like the model that you see on the magazine back in the day. Honey, curves are in, but I want to bring my friends in before we really dive in. So first, let me introduce Miss Tammy Craft. She is owner of 81 Events Design for all of your needs, honey. Then I have Mr. Muse of MusesKloset. Now, I love me some Mr. Muse, honey. He has styled me from head to toe, baby, and she was fine, okay? So he's here. And then I have serial entrepreneur and close friend of mine, Miss Ta Morrison, who is going to chime in, baby. And when I say she going to bring the tea, she going to bring the tea. So help me welcome my guests to the stage. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
What it do, baby?
Look,
how y'all doing?
I see
good.
y'all
How
are
are you?
giving what it needs to give. Yes, hello. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I know we have talked a little bit about this topic briefly, but we all can relate to this topic. So without further ado, I just want to dive in. Before we go into the Reese's, I want to talk about your own personal experience when it comes to dating and size. Do you feel that it has played a factor in your relationships? Ty, let's start with you.
I think it has somewhat at times. I've heard people say things like, "Oh, you're beautiful, but I've never dated a woman your size, or I never dated a woman big, or your plus size," that they'll say. So sometimes, yeah, I have experienced it. Yes, I have.
Okay, what about you, Tammy?
Yeah, curves kind of recently came in. And so I've always been a person that I don't think my, I don't think I have a large behind. It's little as far as I'm concerned,
It do what
but
it do.
it do what it do. But back in my day, like the early, early 90s, late 80s, it wasn't a thing. And so I was actually kind of teased because of my shape. And nowadays it's celebrated. But back then, yeah, there were people that wouldn't necessarily date me because of my size.
And what
So
about you,
it's
Ron, Mr. McMuse? What about you? What has been your dating experience when it comes to size?
The gays is a different group, honey. Okay, the gays is about vanity, and but I can honestly say yes, yeah, I can say yeah because actually when I was bigger, I had more people come at me because I guess they thought I was desperate because I was bigger. But
Did
since
you
I
say
lost my
desperate?
weight, since I huh,
Did you just say desperate?
they thought I was desperate, so they thought I was just gonna take anything.
Mm.
mm,
Yeah, no, no. So I could say y'all weight is very, especially in the gay community, they literally hold what you look like to a certain standard. Yeah.
I just want to piggyback a little bit off of what you just said. The misconstruencies about because you're thicker, you're desperate, so you kind of date anyone and anything. I can honestly say at one point in my life where I was just so down about my size because I was so ridiculed about it all the time, even when I was smaller. But I've always had some curves and I've always had these thighs, but I felt like I attracted these horrible individuals. And because of my low self esteem for letting people be in my ear, I did almost seem like, well, at least somebody chose me. And I'll be honest. I mean, I was my ex-husband for as long as I was because I had the mindset that at least somebody chose me. So I'm being real with y'all. And that's a sad place to be. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. What
Mhm.
about you guys? Tammy, Ty, have you ever felt that way? At least somebody chose me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I know I definitely did. To go back to what Tammy said earlier, she was right about that. Back then, when you had the shape, you got talked about because I was high with the duck, just so y'all know. But anyway, um, but
Yep.
yes, I was in that place at one point, and I did feel that way. Like, well, maybe this is all I'm gonna get. Maybe this person was right what they said, because men can be cruel when they're mad at you. They say hurtful things, so you tend to kind of. It's not that you care, but you hold it in, and you like, okay, was he right? Did he say this? Was it true? And then you start carrying yourself that way, and then you start believing it, right? So I think at a short period of my time, I did experience that.
Yeah.
Not just from males. What about from females?
Yeah.
Because I I think women can be just as harsh to a woman who's thicker. I've had that experience as well. Um, from women, from female, or from even family. I'm gonna be real and just say it. You know
Hmm.
exactly who I'm talking about if you watch it. But anyways, I've I've had that hurt where because I was bigger than them, or I can even go a little further, but the biggest thing that they talked about was my size. And if someone tried to talk to me or someone tried to approach me, that was like the first thing that came out of their mouth. Like, why her? Like, do you see how
Mm.
big she is? And it just completely ignored who I was as a person. And I think coming from a female, especially, women, we have friends, and these are people that we're supposed to trust, right? And have
Hmm.
our back and be around us, but at the same time, we allow them to body shame us just like we let that man do. So, have you ever experienced that relationship with a female?
Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely have. And it's not so much because of, just like you said, it's not about, it had nothing to do with my personality, but it was like because I was shaped a certain way. It's like I was kind of treated like, well, whatever, you can get this and you can get that because of the way you look. And it's like, not all the time. It's like, I think with any woman, if you're confident and you have that persona about you, things will naturally come to you. But I've definitely had people to not really want to hang out with me or just make little comments about, oh, well, you small, you can do this, you small, you can do whatever. And, but sometimes it was true and sometimes it wasn't. And a lot of times it wasn't. Just depends. But yeah, women can be pretty cruel both ways, I think.
What about you, Ty? What's your experience with females when it comes to body
Oh
shame?
Lord. I think a couple years ago, I experienced it from somebody who I thought was a good friend of mine. To hear her tell another friend that I gained weight and I looked at plump and big, like that hurt me because this person ain't no cute size either. Hold on now. But it was just the fact that it came from somebody that you thought like, hey girl, like what? Why would you say that about me? Like, where did that come from? But women, I always feel like people always try to attack you where they or either envy or jealous about what you have or where you at. So I feel like even though I might be plump and big, I feel like she had a problem with that because she's always talking about how she don't have a butt and stuff like that. So I took it as she was just acting out, but at the same time, it's coming from a friend, it hurt, right? Because it's like, why would you even say that about
Yeah.
me? Like, I don't, if I'm mad at somebody, I'm not going to attack nobody's appearance or anything, right? When you do that, you're really lashing out on your insecurities and what you feel. So,
I agree with that.
But your confidence, but see, what stood you out is your confidence is what probably was shook her down. I
Hmm.
realized that because like I said, in the gay community, people think that I just take anything. They're like, ooh, because they don't know how to take me. I'm not about to just get, but my confidence will enter because Ty, you've been around me.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, you've been around me. Baby, I enter the room, don't say nothing. All eyes on me. Who is that? Baby, because I just enter the room and
Mm-hmm.
what's up? What's up? Hey, y'all. And I think sometimes, and they be like, why you got so much confidence? You big. Like, you supposed to be in the corner hiding out.
Right.
Shame.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, no, ma'am. God created perfection when he made this. Okay, I am the sound that birthed the voice. Okay, so that's how I just enter the
Say
room.
that. Say that.
Right.
Okay.
I love that
You
part.
better.
I'm glad
Right.
we have this discourse because this is the perfect opportunity for us to go ahead and segue into this whole foolery. Now, before we go into it, Ty, I want to hand it over to you for a minute so you can give us some background information. But where did Ryan go? Ryan, come back.
Y'all see, I got my little shirt on so I can show my big back energy. I don't know if y'all can see it.
And that's exactly what I want to talk about because this is a term I have never heard of before. Ryan brought this to the
Me neither.
forefront to me the other day. And I'm like, what is, I cannot keep up with all of these new terms and everything.
Yes, big back.
All of
Okay.
this. But let's before we
So
go
silly.
into the whole Risa situation. Ryan, explain to us the definition of big back energy. And do I have big back energy? Like, what the hell is that?
Honestly,
What
I
is it?
think big back energy is desperation. Like, type of that word desperation. You just taking anything because that Risa Tisa, she believed this man was more than what he was, so she moved him in or something. So you're willing to take whatever someone is giving you.
Mm.
So your loneliness, your desperation, your whatever is what big back energy is. To me, that's what I take it as is you just gonna accept what someone is gonna give you.
Okay.
And
So
So
that's
y'all
what I
didn't
take.
hear. So y'all didn't hear like last year during the summer this whole unbig your back. Y'all did not hear that because that was a big trending thing. People would say that like, "Oh, y'all gonna unbig y'all backs this summer?" Like that kind of started from this whole big back thing, right? And that technically came from women of a certain size. Your back is too big or you kind of wide, right? Even if you look it up in the Urban Dictionary, it tells you it's someone that has a big back, wide back, and that's uncomfortable, usually portrayed as a heavier person. It could be a man or a woman, right? It don't have to be a woman, but in this case, it was called out for a woman having big back energy. So when people start saying, well, when the Charlemagne the God said big back energy, everybody already knew what he was talking about for those who understood what big back energy meant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some people feel like, oh, that's not what he meant, but why would you say that? Because that goes back to what Ryan said. Because she's a certain size, she's supposed to have been desperate, meaning she took anything, she believed anything because of her size. That means she had big back energy, or she was acting as big back energy. And then Jess Hilarious even went on to say, oh yeah, she was giving Sheila went up the mountain energy, just like we saw in the Tyler Perry movie when Sheila was the heavier woman that her husband left for the cute small woman. So let's not play games like some people acting like, oh, he wasn't trying to say that. I don't know what he meant. Y'all know exactly what he meant because that term has been thrown around for a while now. Some people might don't know about it, but that's how all that came about.
okay. Well,
I didn't
thank
know
you for
that's
the
what it meant.
definition because I
Mm-hmm.
find out, girl. I was researching. I'm like, what the hell is big back injury? And do she
Yeah.
have it? Like,
Baby, I got it. According to them, I have it because I'm a woman of a certain size. So
well, I guess
I'm
according
not
to
gonna lie.
my,
I've gone up that mountain to save my marriage. I'm Sheila. I don't mind it. Okay, Sheila. I have to go up that mountain to save it. Okay, I'm okay with being
yes,
Sheila.
But I
big
think
back, lift back
everybody, I
out.
mean,
look,
everybody has done that. Everybody
Right.
has done something for love. And I feel like that was such, I don't want to curse. That was such a
don't
crappy,
cuss. Tammy,
okay, that
keep
was
it
a
real.
shitty ass comment
Mm-hmm.
because what she looked like had nothing to do with what she went through. Right? It's like and I love the accountability of it all when she was like, I wanted it to be my turn. I wanted this. Well, I won't say we all, but I know for damn sure I felt that way in
Hello.
some of my relationships. And it's like, it didn't matter what size I was. I remember in a past relationship, my ex had an affair. And the thing that my neighbor said, because I was living in an apartment at the time, he looked at me and he was like, but you have a good body. You're a pretty girl. Why would he do that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter what you look like. If someone's going to do that, they're going to do that. If someone's
That's
going to
right.
lie, they're going to lie. It's
Right.
like that. That has nothing to do with it. And they cannot talk. I'm sorry. Everybody on that panel are cheaters, and they have nothing to say.
Hello.
So let me chime in real quick. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Let me just chime in real quick. Let me say this. I I watched the show, and the way I found about Risa was I started cold watching who the F did I marry, or who the bleep did I marry? And I was just kind of like in disbelief. And then I was kind of thinking to myself, like, girl, you need to write into this damn show. Okay. Because some of these undercovers out here in these streets, they just be lying, and they just be trying to keep you where they meet you. And they know when you broke, and they know when you hurt it. And so they keep tapping into that hurt place to keep you there and to keep you still. So when I first watched this show, I was just completely infatuated. Like, I literally binge watched the whole series from top to bottom. And then Risa came out on TikTok with her own episode. Kudos to you, girl. Get your bag. All right. But her story was so relatable. So Ty, I want you to talk a little bit about the background of how this whole big back energy began with Risa.
Well, with Risa, it began because this woman told her story, right? She did a 50-part series on TikTok. And a lot of people say I'm not watching it, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I tuned in. It was good. It was the way she told her story, right? It was captivating. She was accountable. She had very good details, and it was something I felt like we all can relate to. Like, dang, somebody did that to me. Oh yeah, he did lie to me on something simple. So it
Mhm.
captured you, right? And it kept you wanting more. That's how I felt her story was being told. I don't feel like she was doing it for clout. I don't think she was doing it to hurt the ex, because she didn't even mention his real name. I felt like she did say at the end it was a healing process for her to tell her story and help the next person. So again, by her telling her story, this woman started getting a lot of attention, right? Everybody started chiming in. And of course, women, we can relate to that. So women are like giving her kudos and celebrating this woman, saying, good, you was able to tell your story, girl. You were bold. So by her getting this public attention, I think a lot of people like, who is this woman? Who is this woman talking about? She thought she was going to be with a VP and all this. So then when they go look her up, I know you didn't think a VP was going to marry you. That's a lot of the things I saw. And it's like, a lot of VPs are not VPs of a company. For one, I have an HR background, and I know a lot of VPs and always just a VP of a company. They have VPs in other areas of workplace, right? So the VP that he told her was part of a kind of warehouse condiment place. That is possible. If you worked in those type of environments, then you would be like, yeah, that's kind of believable. So when people saw her picture, they couldn't fathom the fact that, oh, she was with somebody. Oh, she should have known he was lying to her, right? So I think that's how this all started, with the comments, and then Charlamagne the God, the Breakfast Club chimed in, and then it just kind of spiraled from there, where everybody's talking about, yeah, I can't believe she thought somebody wanted to marry her. Big back energy. Look at her. She's a woman of a certain size. Nobody will want you. Why do you think that somebody with that statue was going to marry you? And I feel like that's where the whole do love have a size come into play. Because Tammy, we done worked at a company with some VPs, and when they wives used to show up to the parties, we like, who this?
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Oh.
You see some women, you be like, this your wife? And then, not to be funny, but that's because we're physical, and we're we like to see. So when we
Visual
see
people.
certain things, we're gonna be like, wait a minute, that ain't adding up. But we
Yeah.
can't say that's not true, because we've seen things like that happen, where it's like, oh, I can't believe he with, or I can't believe she with. So you
Yeah.
can't judge a book by its, I'm not gonna say color, I'm gonna say size. You cannot do that anymore, because it's love for everybody. People like who they like.
Mm-hmm.
So, all in all, Risa found out her husband was a liar. Right?
Yes, a
So,
fat face on liar.
Fat face on lie.
Fat
That's what
face on, baby.
That's that face. Pathological liar.
listen,
Yes,
this.
Sad.
But okay, so he lied, and so he
yes.
wasn't really this VP person. She went through this heartache, and I know that there was also something too where she talked about where he was introducing, like Beyonce say, introduce you to some new things. He
Yes.
was updating, he was upgrading, right? So I think as a woman, genuinely, I think that when we're with someone and then we're not educated, I'll say, not saying that you don't have to have a college degree and stuff like that, but I'm just saying you not woke. Okay, you
Right.
have done research regarding things that keeps you going in life, right? So when you're in that aspect, and there are people out there, I used to be one of them people that wasn't woke in that aspect, and whatever this man told me, I believed it. I believed it because I didn't know any better. Okay.
Right.
I wasn't educated enough to know any better. And so
Hmm.
also too, when we are in a place of where we're settling and we are just being content in our circumstance, then we kind of put blinders up, right?
Right.
Because we don't want to see those red flags. We don't want to see those particular things. And we just try to hold it together and keep going with it. So I feel like Reese's story is so, as you said, Ty, so relatable to so many people, not just women. There are men out there that, maybe never had a good woman and they think that, oh, she's it, but she ain't. Right? Like old girl with $30 lunch. Anyway, that was a little petty. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
But I just commend her for opening up, but I just really feel so sorrowful regarding the backlash that she received regarding her situation and her wanting love, just being a woman. It didn't
Right.
have anything to do with size. And I just hate that so many people put so much emphasis on the size, because at the end of the day, it's not who we are.
Right.
So,
I think that was the easiest target, though. I
Yeah.
think
A
it's
lazy
easier
read.
to find. Yeah, it's easier to say, oh, it was her size, rather than really sit down and look in the mirror and say, oh, I fell for that too.
Right.
But when
Because Charlemagne's wife fell for it.
Hello.
DJ Envy's wife fell for it.
Hello.
Just Hilarious fell for it.
Because she's
It's
been in
like,
plenty no good relationships. So she must been
absolutely.
giving Sheila too, baby. Come on.
Absolutely. It's like
but
we've all fallen for that, but it's easier to pick out something that you already know society's going to jump on the back, right?
right.
Society's going to be like, oh yeah, that must be it. Because how dare I look at myself and say, oh yeah, I've done that too.
Mr. Muse, you and this hand raised. Yes, sir.
But because Ty told me that he did it, like because she never said his name, right? So he came out and said, "Hey, I'm the person."
Mm-hmm.
Did we not notice what he looked like? Like, did we not see
Right.
what he looked
Right.
like? Like,
But if you
now,
see his older pictures, to be honest though, I'm gonna say it again. If you look at his older pictures, the ones that he so-called had on the site, he looks nothing like he looked now. And like I
because the
say,
interview
this
I
been
did
over a
see, he
good
looked
3-year
real.
period ago, so we don't know. Because remember, she said if you watch the series, he got real sick and his physical part changed in that year when they broke up. So as of now, his appearance may have changed drastically from what she was saying to what he probably originally was. And I'm not saying he ugly. I'm not saying he cute. Each his own. Everybody like what they like. And at the time, maybe he was presentable to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you talking about right now, baby, he got some nerves.
But then he just did a whole interview saying he a pilot or something. Didn't he? Like, didn't he say he doing something? And
He's
He's
been
supposed to
saying a
be on
lot of stuff.
Netflix.
he's already told us you
Yeah.
a lie, Legion. Okay, we know some legions. You a lie. Get away from us with this mess, Apollo.
Right.
Legion is an Uber and Lyft driver. Okay, let me.
And hey, it's nothing wrong with Uber and Lyft drivers,
It's
but
not because my boo does DoorDash.
Listen, I did Uber Eats and everything else, but baby, I am not ashamed. I see my uncle.
right.
Uncle, no, thank you for chiming in.
But just stand in who you are. My thing was, if he would have been honest with her, he don't know what she would have done, right? You have to be honest and stand where you at in life and let people accept you. Because I think, Nicole, you said something earlier. One of her things was she never experienced home buying. She never experienced nobody taking her to the dealership to buy a car. So everything he was telling her, if you're not educated on something, you're going to trust what that person is telling you. She never went through a home buying process. So when she physically saw him putting in offers, because she thinking, who gonna put in an offer ain't got no money? Let's be real. Who gonna do that, right? Who's gonna go through the whole process to put in an offer for a home and you don't
Yep.
think they have the money. So we have to be, that's why I say you have to see the whole series to understand every detail she was giving. Some people just taking certain clip notes like, oh, she's stupid. But I see a lot of small backs, skinny backs, little women on this good internet telling the same stories about how they got
Yep.
schemed and lied to. So it's not about a size. We have to go back to paying attention to the red flags, right?
Yeah.
Loving ourselves and knowing what you want as a person and not standing down on those things that you want. And if it's something that don't sit right with you, you have to talk about it. Get the
Yeah.
answers, ask questions. If it's something you don't like and it don't sit well with you, then move on. We can no longer in 2024 make excuses for people lying because there's no reason to lie anymore. You have
Yeah.
to be honest. Just be
His
honest.
ex-wives were small.
Yeah.
All the exes that have
Mhm.
come out and
The
said
fact
that
that she
he
said
lied to
all.
them and
Same
he did
way.
all of this stuff. They
Yeah.
were, yeah. So it
Well,
doesn't matter.
speaking of liars,
Hey, listen.
All
let's
right.
talk about Portia and Simon.
Child.
Child, talking about big back energy. Now, what doesn't sit well with me, and I think Ty, you brought this to the forefront. You see Portia husband after he got denied U.S. citizenship again. Okay, that means he applied for it. After he got denied again, all of a sudden it's all over the blogs, it's all over the internet. They done broke the damn internet talking about they getting a divorce. Now we already know that Portia and Simon only dated 1 whole month before she just was drunk in love and married this man. After we all saw on the Real Housewives of Atlanta that she was kicking it at their house with his wife, talking about
Right.
trifling. But Portia, I ain't gonna lie, she got body. She's a pretty girl. She not the brightest girl, Underground Railroad. But she got, but the thing is, she is what society and social media with all the ass out, all
Tammy,
the
you
titties
crazy.
out. She's giving body. She's giving
Right.
all that body, and she's giving this particular type of lifestyle. So I mean, it was a very quick marriage, but the way she was all over social media celebrating and loving her husband, they flying and going on trips, and all of a sudden he get denied citizenship. And now nobody has anything to say. They are supporting Portia in her bad decision making. Why do you think that society is treating Risa with her big back energy differently than they are Portia, and she just got scammed as well? She should be on the next episode of Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Gonna go run.
I don't
Go
think
right.
I don't think Portia got scammed. I think Portia went into this with this young man,
Young
knowing
man,
what the deal
stop
was.
saying young. That man is older than hell.
Well, she knew what she was doing when she got into this with that with that man, with Mr. Simon. So, because again, we don't know what was going on behind them closed doors. Like I told Ty, I think Portia and Phelan, his ex-wife, got together. Well, girl, you want it, you can have it. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You can deal with it. I'm gone. Because she had her own situation. So I think Portia actually knew going into this what it was. Because again, one of my friends, she's a very big blogger, so she made a point. Because the fact of the matter that Simon's papers was filed in the state of Georgia, nobody was talking about it until People Magazine broke the news. So how did People Magazine know to go get the paperwork? They flew down. How did they know to do the paperwork? Because again, Portia already knew what it was. Like Portia already knew what this was. And so I don't think Portia was scammed. I don't think Portia had an issue. Because again, Portia's stashing her money away because she was trying to uphold that prenup. Baby, he gave her some coins. Put this away for me. They can't, as right now we married, so they can't ask you no questions about me. So you do this for me. I got you. Then once we settle everything, we're gonna get a divorce and we're going about our business. I'm sorry. Like this was well executed. Thank you, Portia. Portia's very educated.
I
And
don't
she
agree with
came back
that.
with a
I don't
deal with
agree with that.
NBC.
I don't agree with that. I think Portia thing is money, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier. A man gonna get you on what you love. Risa Tisa never experienced some of those things, so he used VP of a company. He used I played football and got money to get her. Simon knew he had to play in a bigger league to get Portia. right? I'm not saying
Mhm.
Portia didn't know about his name because he tried 3 times since they've been married to get his citizenship and he was denied. So I'm sure Portia knew that. But Portia knew all she knew was he had money. Let's be real. Portia wasn't
Yep.
with Simon because he was cute or
Pay to
because of
play.
this. She was with Simon because he had money.
Yep.
And now people probably pull that up because they finna be on this show. So of course people start digging dirt up. But if you look at all the dirt they digging up now, it's not looking good for Simon. Because my thing was like Nicole was asking, the only difference is Portia might got a little more because she got the car, the money, but it was still on deception. A lot of that stuff was on lies. Simon just played in a different league. That's it. He
Yeah.
played a different league, and he knew to get Portia, he was gonna have to play this way to get this. And who knows? He could have been trying to use Portia to get his sister. Who knows, right? We don't know. Like you said, we're not behind closed doors. But the way things are going and the way Portia is trying to hold that prenup, you're not gonna hold a prenup if you know Simon got money because she would have went after that money. Portia ain't asking for no money for Simon. So that lets you
Because
know
she
he
know
don't
he
have
don't
a
have
monkey
none.
thing. Because if he had
Yep.
some coins, baby, I best believe you, Portia would have went off that doggone me money. And I put that on everything. Portia's trying to hold that prenup because she don't want him to come take her money. Let's be real.
And who's to say that he wasn't after her for her money?
Exactly. Simon knew
I
the
mean,
game.
it's
Because
it's
Fallon said
it's
the
a
same thing, his
two-way
ex-wife.
street.
Look how he treated her and some things she said. She already was putting it out there, but people thought she was bitter and she was hating. And that's a lot of things we have to pay
Because she had a
attention to.
boyfriend.
When people go through things, the exes always say, oh, they hating, right? The ex might be trying to give you
Mm-hmm.
some real information, right? We don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But that's my take on it. I think
It's
Portia now
also,
seeing it for what it is, and I'm glad she gone by her business, girl. Get far away from him, honey. And keep your coins and go about your business.
but that you also too, Ty, had brought to the forefront. Simon, that man got several kids, and one of those kids has special needs. And when
Mm-hmm.
a man is refusing to pay child support for all his
Right.
children, and then you have a special needs child, and you refuse to help get, help to help them get the services that they need,
Yeah.
refusing to pay for those things, there's some kind of underlying issues. And if you all out and about with your wife and you on private jets and you on trips and you doing all of these other things, but you telling me that this is something that the world can see that your baby mama not feeling some type of way, let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you, Simon and Portia was a little on the smart side because he sprinkled some of them kids around and brought them out to the forefront, but you ain't see that special needs one. Furthermore, I guarantee you he had them sign some type of NDA so they couldn't really talk about it, because if it was me, baby, I would be singing from the mountaintops.
Well, Portia showed the special needs son. Like she posted him for his birthday and everything.
Yeah, she showed him,
Once.
but my thing was, why do he not pay child support for none of his kids if this man
Oh,
is a
I got you.
multimillionaire? I mean, those are the things, that's why I say these are the things we miss, right? In relationships, we miss certain things because we only seeing what that snake is putting before us. We not seeing the background, right? So if he's saying he's a father, but you're not paying child support for none of your kids, and then you have special need and the baby mama is just asking for this, but you're flying on $40,000-$50,000 planes a month, and then you paying all this money for flights, and you can't even give a little extra to your child, and people mad at the baby mama, she just greedy. No, that's your child. And if I had the means, what's wrong with supplying the means for that child if you got it, right? It shouldn't hurt
Well,
you if you're a multimillionaire.
here's the thing about child support. Child support doesn't necessarily have to go through the state,
Right.
because the state robs people of child
Mm-hmm.
support.
It
Truly,
does.
the state is in it for themselves. They make more money off child support than the actual parent. And
Mm-hmm.
so there
Well,
could have been
I
an
know.
agreement. Yeah, there could have been an agreement put in place to where Simon's like, I will give you $25,000, but if you go and file child support on me, then you're only going to get what they tell me to give you,
Mm-hmm.
because that is a set number.
Mm-hmm.
You can go over all you want, but that is a set number. So who's to say that these women like Portia, it's like, oh, why just get this when I can get all of this? So I feel like him not paying child support on his kids, that really didn't phase me, because that's very easy. I can see people not doing that, but I feel like just like you said, Portia was after the money. I think Portia dug deeper. She looked into that offshore account, like what Legion had, it ain't nothing over there.
Proof
And
of
Portia got her
funds.
ass out of there.
Proof of
Yeah, yeah. It
funds.
wasn't no proof of funds with that
So
comma
Portia
behind
definitely wanted to buy
deer.
something else extravagant, extreme, and
Exactly.
when the transaction was declined, baby, then that was a whole problem. But you
Exactly.
know, but
Exactly.
but going back to the original, this goes back to does love have a size? Because again, Portia's not really getting attacked. And I'm going to say attacked because Risa was attacked by these trolls on social media that was attacking her character, her physicalities. But none of those things are transpiring for Portia. So although Risa is not a celebrity, she just, you
She
know,
is. She just got signed to one of the top 8 talent agencies. She's a celebrity now. Let's
but
boom.
now
She
here's the
is.
just got
Oh
signed
yeah.
just and now are the key terms in what you just said. Portia has been there. She's had her own spinoff show, which was trash. She was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta when she told, asked, do I have to buy a ticket for the Underground Railroad?
You just don't like Portia.
Yes, right.
I love now. Don't get me wrong. Portia's a
I'm
sweet girl.
laughing.
Portia is a sweet girl in person. Portia's a sweet girl.
And you know what? I don't take that
She's
away from
beautiful.
her. But what I'm saying,
Yes.
my
Portia
whole point
gorgeous.
is that society favors the popular. Society favors what they see on social media and what they see on TV. And then there's everyday people like you and I that we don't have millions of followers. And so because I talked about how this lion mofo over here did what he did and I'm open about it, then you're going to ridicule me like I'm the problem. And then if you can't hit me because you don't know me, you're going to hit me where everybody knows that once I talk about your size, which is a huge issue, a issue in itself when it comes to confidence, when it comes to self-esteem, when it comes to self-love. There's so many things that embody the person's size and how it affects people. People have been in depression. People eat because of depression. There's all kind of things that are involved with size. You're hitting them where it hurts. But when it comes to Portia, that is not the case. People are just like, oh man, it didn't work out. Oh, Portia, I'm so sorry. Portia already on to the next person. So
That's just like what you call it too,
does
though.
love have a size? Because is that fair treatment? And I mean, how biased is that? And then we out here in these streets talking about body positivity. We're trying to support and empower women, but you putting us down with these horrible words that you're saying and you shaming us and trying to keep us captive in that horrible place that we already have felt or still feel because of what we look like, and society doesn't want to accept us. We're not dateable. We're not lovable. That's not okay. Or as the jokes have been told, you always get you a big girl because at least they always got groceries. They always gonna keep a man full. All the fat stuff that comes out about that, but that did not happen to Portia, and it has to do with what she looks like, and that's just plain as day.
Even Alicia Keys and Fantasia, that they did the same thing, and that situation played out differently
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
because no one said any. Nobody said anything about Alicia Keys. She knew Swiss was married. She was
Yep.
in that studio doing what she do. She knew he had a wife. Fantasia did the same thing. She just did it on a different spectrum. You know, he was at T-Bubble, but still, they both knew that these men were married, but still they did what they wanted to do.
That's where he was working. I think it
Yeah,
goes
that's what
back to likable, right?
Yeah.
Portia's
Yep.
an American
That was
sweetheart, right? She's
Kelly Rowland.
beautiful, she's
Yep.
likable. And that's what's wrong with the society. If they like you, they don't even have to know you. If they like you, they'll fight for you and 10 toes down. If they don't like you, if you're not desirable in their eyes, something wrong with you. Oh, you stupid, you this. And we see that a lot on social media. Let's be real. We see that a lot. If a beautiful lady cry wolf, oh, what's wrong? If somebody of a certain size do something, oh, she need to get up big. She didn't. Who she thought? It goes back to what society is being shaped into. We're being shaped to like this is pretty, like this is not. It goes back to the doll study. It goes back to a lot of studies we've done from black and white people. Let's be real. All this goes back to what is deemed to be desirable, right?
Yep.
And in our black community, everything is starting to be desirable. It's so sad when it comes to BBLs, long hair to your butt. Light skin, let's be real. That's what we are starting to deem to be desirable. If you're outside of this spectrum of looking a certain way, then you're questionable, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's what this boils down to. I think love don't have a size, but it do have a look. Because if you look a certain way, you might get a little more love. You might get it. And then I'm not trying to be funny. I got a lot of small friends. I hear worse stories than I hear from my big girls now, my women. So they're to be honest, I'm being dead serious. They're more, I don't want to say desperate, they're more vain about their looks and how they being treated just as worse as the next plus size woman,
Because they
because
out
they're
there
deemed
trying
to
to
be
compete.
told they're beautiful and all this. So if they're not getting a certain thing, they think something wrong with them, right? And then people hate bigger people because we're starting to adapt and love where we at in life. And I think everybody needs to do that. Love where you at in life. Quit trying to be this person, that person, look like this person, be that person. It's nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself if you need to lose weight, shape, whatever that looks like to you. But if you love yourself where you at, I think it will stop a lot of things like being lied to, hurt, put in certain situations. Because when we're not at a place where we want love or something so bad, we're gonna ignore all the red flags. You're gonna ignore
Yeah.
certain things because you want that. And that's exactly what Risa Tisa said. She thought it was her turn. She wanted that. So
She
when you
wanted
and,
it to be.
and when even a man, the devil, whoever, when they know you want something so bad, they're gonna put it right in your face.
Yep.
And you're gonna ignore everything come with it because you want it.
Yep. Yep.
Because I know
And
I've
then
been a
it's
fool.
like,
I know I've been a
he's
fool.
so
I
silly.
know I have.
I think that it's sad how all of these all of these young girls and some men too, that it's everything's so money driven. It's so
Mhm.
transactional. It's
Transactional.
It
it's
is.
if you pay, I will play. If you do this, I'll do this. And it's just there's no virtue. Like the songs, and I love me some City Girls. I'll rap it, I'll listen to it. I like Megan. I'll listen to all of it, sweetie, whatever. But it's no way in hell I'm gonna take those lyrics to heart
Right.
because there's no virtue. It's like they will sleep with anybody, they will do whatever as long as you have this. I
As
mean,
long as the price is
it's
right.
modern day prostitution,
Yeah.
But
right? But
But the
the
crazy part about it,
women,
but they're not
the
doing it though.
prostitutes are now the pimps. But the prostitutes are now the pimps because it's like they will pimp out their services for lunch, for nails, for
what's the
$30.
shoes,
lunch not
for
$30?
purses, for whatever.
Yeah,
It's like
you're right, Tammy.
it's
Tammy,
like,
you are
oh, you
absolutely
wanna
right.
you wanna spend time with me? How much do you have? Okay, $50. All right, we can go to Kroger,
But that's what we're
you know.
seeing right now,
But that
right?
Oh, I must
that's
be a
what it is.
prostitute
The
then.
prostitutes are now the pimps,
Right.
and it's no
And the
longer
pimps are not hoes.
the pimps are the hoes. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it's like the men. If we listen to their stories are like, I can't find nobody honest. It's not just me. She doing this to this, that, and the other. I mean, oh Lord, when I was in my early 20s, I worked at Montgomery Wards, right? My favorite little snack
Ooh,
was a
Come on,
chocolate chip
Wards.
cookie, right? A chocolate chip cookie and a Sprite it was in the mall from Great American Cookie Company. I had 3 people bringing me that. And, one of my friends came. I got my times a little mixed up. They came at the same time. He was like, wait, I thought I was the only one bringing you that. It's like, no, you never asked me, but I had other people bringing me snacks.
Right.
Today, they're just more forthcoming. Today, they're
Right.
like, well, you do this, you get all of this. It's like they'll let you know. It's damn near nail salon.
And
You
it's
go in
men
there,
out
order
there
what you
doing it
We
want.
can't
because
hear
they
you.
want that
I
type
see
of
you
woman,
in your
Tammy.
lip crying, but we
Yeah.
can't hear you. Well, hold on, guys. We have a comment. Holly Thomas says, yes, some ladies get their body fixed just trying to impress men. Love come from the heart, not how you look. Holly,
Hmm.
girl, you hit that nail on the head, honey.
Yeah.
Because it is true, but it's a trend. People have died going out the country to go get their body done because they're trying to have this certain aesthetic and this appearance, and looking like they got 2 basketballs in the booty is not that cute. But if you like it, honey, I love it for you. But no shade. No, actually, that was some little shade. No shade. Okay.
Shade, no
But
shade, but shade.
But I mean, it's becoming such a trend that people are willing to finance it. They are willing to go in debt. They're willing to do whatever it has to take to have this particular aesthetic about themselves. But then you are depending on other people to fund your lifestyle. Like old girl who was ungrateful for the $30 for lunch. She thought that wasn't enough, girl. Who said? I do believe in my heart that I am the prize. I mean, I am the prize. It is, period. As a woman, you should feel
Exactly.
prize. But I can't be bought. I don't care what you think that you can give to me. There's nothing like the type of gratification that I was able to work hard and I said that I did this for I can do this for myself, even if, and I'm cool. And Tammy, y'all know me, y'all are my close friends. Y'all know that I've said if I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I ain't going. And that's what it is. But I'm okay with that. I'm not about to depend on somebody else to foot the bill because I feel like if you value me, that's what you're supposed to be doing. There's no price over all of this. It can't be.
Right.
But I think like
Ryan,
what Risa said. Yeah, Ryan's beauty. But what Risa said about how she said it was so intoxicating to have a man take care of the bills and tell her your check is yours. And if you've never experienced that, it is going to be like, well, damn,
Right.
I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know that, you know, and it's like, sadly, a lot of people, you know, homes are broken, right? The fathers aren't there. And they are having to see their moms out there working, and some moms aren't there either. And so when you experience those things for the first time, it is like oh, damn, I didn't know life can be that way. And it's just, I feel like history repeats itself. There's always an extreme, right? I feel like right now we're living in the extreme of pay to play. You can't talk to me unless you pay me. And then it'll start to hopefully go back with the other generation of let's get back to, it's not so much what you can do for me in the immediate, it's what we can do for each other. How do we build on that? Because it's like you can see a little bit of it, but sadly it's just too far to the one extreme right now.
Right.
You know,
and speaking of basketballs, you talking about the butts. I think is it Dr. Umar? He made this comment and people were mad. He asked a question. Well, he didn't ask a question. He made a statement. He said he feel like women are getting their bodies done because he blamed the men. Because he said if men wouldn't over sexualize women like they do, then women wouldn't be going to get their bodies done. And I had a conversation with a couple people and they got mad at me because I said I agree. I only agree because that's what we see. If you look at everything right now, everything is sexualized. Videos, TV, Instagram all day long, naked. Everything is about nakedness, butt, body, right? So that's why these regular women like me, regular women I know, like, I'm gonna get my butt done. I'm not knocking nobody that has work done. I'm saying some people doing it because they want to look good, they want to feel a certain way. I get it. Ladies, do your thing. But I'm gonna say the majority of these women, they're doing it for the attention. They want what they see on Instagram. They want that same man to come look for them. They think they're gonna be wiped up. And if you look at all those women, and I'm not trying to be funny, not saying these women can't be married or nobody want them, but they're in the same boat as us regular women. Do they got a man?
Hell,
Do they get cheated on?
Hell to the yeah.
Beautiful body banging, right? But you so beautiful body banging, people can't understand why would a man cheat on somebody? Because again, if we're looking at the looks and we're looking at the aesthetics of people, those type of women aren't supposed to get cheated on, right? They're supposed to be all this and that. Why are they getting cheated on? It's because it's not a us thing. It goes back to a preference of a person. A lot of these men have too many options, and unless they have discipline or some type of self-control, or they're in a situation where they truly want a woman or love, everything is transactional. Like Tammy say, it's transactional. They can go get the next one.
It is. And I want to say this. Well, we have another comment. Holly said relationship is 50-50. True. Some men, some women want to please their man. And there's nothing wrong. Listen, I love pleasing my man. I ain't gonna lie. It's nothing that, I mean, it makes me happy to see that it's something that I do, whether it's to wash a load of clothes or text, hey baby, good morning. morning. I be sending corny pickup lines, but I mean, I just want my man to feel good, right?
Right.
But when I was dating, I will never forget, and this is when I was modeling a lot. Y'all know what model Nicole looked like. Y'all already know. But the thing that I would get, the biggest thing that I would get, and these men were just trash, and I could not take them seriously, was like, why don't you always dress like you want, like a model? And I'm like, I don't like to wear makeup most of the time. 9 times, when y'all see me 9 times out of 10, y'all see me with makeup? Mostly not. But if I do, it is so light, you probably don't even know that I have it on, because that's just not who I am as a person. No, I'm not going to wear heels all the time. No, I'm not going to be dressed like I'm walking on the runway all the time. No, my titties not always going to be, out and about, but this is what I was told when we was on dates, and I'm looking at you like, okay,
Wow.
well, what about some things that I like? Like, I'm an educator. Like,
Right.
like, these are some things that I enjoy. I like reading this book. I like to binge watch. I'm an introvert just as much as I am an extrovert. You don't want to know any of those multifaceted things about who I am as a person, but you so concerned about my appearance, and because I'm not going to dress like that when we so-called go out, then you don't want to. All dudes say he begged. When I say he begged me to go out, I was like, fine, we're going to go ahead and go. This man said, you get the appetizer and the entree, and we was at Gloria's. And that place not that expensive. You could get some tamales for $10. You can eat off of a couple of times.
Y'all remember my lunch date nightmare?
Yes, but I'm looking at him like, are you serious? And I'm like, well, dude, I need to pay, but all the way on the ride there, you telling me I make $100,000 a year? What the fuck? Like, you trying to impress me with the wrong thing because you want something from me, and it had nothing to do with who I was. It was because you saw me at New York Fashion Week. You saw me at African Fashion. It had everything to do with the persona and the places that I can get into and the people I'm around and what I look like on the outside when I'm runway ready versus my personality and who I am as a woman. So, I mean, it is, listen, this whole dating situation is trash. But for Risa, my hope for you is that you take this time and the lesson that you learn from this whole situation and just love on you.
Yeah.
Spend time with you. Spend time with learning about certain things. Spend time with not being so ready, because this is something that you want. There's power in patience, is what I like to say.
Yes.
And
I think it's okay with her being ready, though. I feel like you have to have your heart open. I think.
Yeah, you do, but you also have to have your heart open when you're in the right place.
Yeah, and be discerning.
Right. You have to be discerning. And just like in my previous relationships, I was so empty. I was trying to give something. My marriage, I was trying to give something I didn't have for me.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Well, my advice to Miss Teresa Johnson, that's her real name, Miss Risa, aka Risa Tisa, I would just say, live, baby. Just live. Take this in and live. By you telling your story, you have helped a lot of women. I don't care what nobody say. You have helped a lot of women, whether they want to be truthful about it or not. You probably helped men as well, because we all have been in the world and dealt with a legion, right? Legion is a liar. It don't matter. It can be friends. I had a friend that was a pathological liar. So it can be any form of some type of ship. You've dealt with that with people lying. So I commend her for telling her story. I commend her for being brave. I commend her for even being out of accountability and being vulnerable, because she said some stuff that wasn't pretty for her, but she was being truthful. And then my thing to us as women, quit being impressed by everything you see. I'm just being real. We get so impressed about a little piece of car pull up that's nice, but that fool don't even have nowhere to lay his head. And I'm saying this because, ladies, I'm on the dating scene. These men will appear to be whatever you want them to be because we are too impressed about those things. Ask those questions. Dig deep. Find out about that person. He sent you $30. Be happy for lunch. Because he might be asking you for $30 next week. I mean, I'm just saying, be thankful for these things and quit being so desperate and being a pick me all the time. I see so many women pick me and they because they see a man with this and that. Just be yourself. Like Nicole say, patience is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Wait on it, ask questions. If something don't feel right, ladies, walk away. It's okay. Because one thing I know, you can't miss what you never had, baby. If you didn't never have that man, why are you
That
mad and
part.
upset? Let it
Yeah.
go. Because trust me, it's plenty of fish in the sea. Now, we ain't caught none, but I'm just saying, it's plenty of fishes out here in the sea. But but your king gonna come. And if you
Yeah.
love yourself enough to know, and then that man gonna see it, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm in a whole different place I was. And when I tell you that repelling I got on me now, they don't want it because you know why? They can't lie. They can't get to you. They can't run game. They can't scheme because you got that repelling up. And when men know that, those bullshitters are gonna stay away. But when they know they can bullshit you and get to you, because like Risa Tisa say, she was in a place where she didn't feel good. Men see that and know that they're gonna play on your emotions and they're gonna slide right in where you're weak and vulnerable and they're gonna fill that void. And at that
Yep.
time, she had that void. She had a man that was paying her bills. Like she said, she never had that. And let's be real, every woman wants that. Who
Yeah.
wouldn't want that? But
Yeah.
at the same time, you can ask for that, and it could be the devil, it could be turmoil, it could be a lot of stuff going on. So, ladies, love yourself, but just don't be desperate. Don't jump on everything.
Tammy,
Yeah.
what you got to say, girl?
I would say similar to Ty, I'm very proud of her and I appreciate her telling her story because we've all lived that at some point. I would just want her to allow herself to still be open, to be better, not bitter, and to make a conscious effort that when she is ready to date, give herself time to heal and make sure that when she's dating, she asks for someone that's healed. Be very specific. I've always believed in writing lists. I had a very detailed list. I'm a person that's from divorce and I am engaged and getting married this year to the love of my life. And after being married for over 16 years and then that ending, my number one thing was I never wanted to be bitter. Never. I wanted to be better. I wanted to keep my heart open, but I wanted to be smart. And I feel that she's learned this lesson and she needed to learn that lesson and she needed to share that because too many of us are walking around with blinders on.
Yep.
And so I feel that I saw her on Tamron and she said that she'll never trust again. That's hurtful. That's hurtful because that's not what God intended this story to be.
Mm-mm.
God intended it to expose some things that she needed to expose. God intended for her to expose him because this wasn't his first time. This wasn't his second time. It wasn't his third time doing this to people.
Right.
A lot of things needed to be exposed in
Mm-hmm.
this conversation. And the fact that she shared that and over 35 million people liked that and related to that, a lot of things needed to be exposed. And I feel like that uncovering is going to help us all. And I just pray that she takes it for what it is. She enjoys this fame, enjoy this moment, and be able to use this as a catalyst to get her to where she wants to be. And all the other women out there, recognize the liars, like Ty said, recognize it, pay attention, but also keep your heart open because he is there. He's
Mm-hmm.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a couple comments. Great show. Thank you, cousin. Thank you for tuning in. And then Holly says, self-love is the best love. Got to love yourself. Just waiting on God. He will send you a man that will love you for you. And that is so true. So I said some things to Risa that I want you to remember. Now I want to say some things to Portia. Portia, I know that your name emulates a very fast, expensive car. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. But my hope for you, Portia, just in case you hear this, and I hope you do, I hope this gets to you, girl. But my Portia, my hope for you is that you slow down. Slow down. And although you do want love, you do want the husband, you want all of these things, make sure you want it with the purest intentions. don't be so quick to jump on what looks good on the outside, because what is it doing to your inside? And are you willing to compromise and sacrifice, especially being a mother, who you are as a woman, as a person, and all that you could embody, just because you want a particular status and you want all eyes on you, or whatever the case, whatever your motive was. But my hope for you is to slow down, love on you, and spend some time with you, and spend some time with that beautiful baby, and just let it be you guys for some time before you get back out there rushing to the finish line, because it don't matter how good it looks to you, if it's not for you, it won't be.
That's right.
So that's my hope for you, and that's my hope for all those ladies out there that are looking for love, ladies and gentlemen that are out there looking for love. Stop letting society play such a huge role in your life. No one told you this is the norm for you. Know who you are, love who you are, embrace who you are, but be open to the idea of love. And it doesn't have a boundary. It doesn't have a size. It doesn't have a shape. It doesn't have a color. It doesn't have any of those stigmas that society put on there. It's what you want for you. And as long as you're being fulfilled wholeheartedly in your heart, and there's someone that's pouring into you genuinely, be open to receive it.
Yes.
So that's my hope for y'all. What about you, ladies? Do you have any last words? And don't forget to talk about your business, y'all. Y'all know y'all got a lot of business out here in these Houston streets. So don't forget to tell us where we can find you. But what are some last words that you guys would like to say?
I just want to say thank you for having me. And I think next week, Nicole, we're going into another topic, right?
Bye bye. Let me tell you this topic I got. Let me tell you something. This topic, I'm going to talk about it in just a second. But yes, we are going into another topic. But before I tell y'all what that is, go tell us where we can find you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's always good to get on and catch up and talk with my girlfriend. So I appreciate that. But I am Ta Morrison. I can be found on all social media platforms at Ta, that's T-A, last name Morrison. I do have a candle, luxury candle line. Please come out to McIntyre's Heights on Sunday for Women's Party Day and come and shop my candle collection. I'm also an event and travel planner. So if you're going on a wonderful trip, you need me to plan for you, or you getting married like my girl Tammy, we got you. Make sure you check me out.
All right. Last words, and where can we find you?
Last words, same as Ty. Thank you so much for having me. I love doing this. I feel like I'm kind of I'm an exclusive, private kind of event designs person. I make small
Behind
business
the scenes,
but yes, I am, and I'm only word of mouth. I don't really, if you know, you know. I'll say that, but I would say exactly. I agree with you with what you told Portia. I think Portia really just needs some time to heal and to find herself, and when she slows down, he'll catch up. Her king will catch up the second she slows down. And just for women to take the time that you need, like Holly said, healing comes from within, self-care, all of it. It matters. In order for you to find your next, you have to be healed. You really do. And healing is ongoing. Different levels. You're going to heal together. Yeah, right. You're going to heal a part of you will heal, but when you meet him, both of y'all are going to heal together, and then you'll move forward. So
let's see, we have another comment. Thank you, ladies, because I'm so happy to hear you, ladies, and you are very encouraging. Thank you so much for that. That definitely means so much to me, and I hope it means a lot to you too, ladies.
Yes.
You guys who are watching tonight, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The In Love Show, baby, where all things I love and all our conversation, because that's exactly what it is. Now, talking about next week, I want to delve into a little conversation, because I was reading up on some things, and people out here in these streets are saying that if you are in a relationship for more than a year, that you should be living together, and the dude should already propose. Like, this is preposterous. I don't but I want to talk about that next week. So make sure you tune in. And if you want to be a guest, hit your girl up. I want you to be a guest as well. And I want to know what you want to talk about, because all things are love and all things are conversation over here. But to end it off for tonight, I want to thank everyone who has tuned in, who has chimed in and shared this live tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I am the ultimate girlfriend's pop-up conversation queen, honey. So I'm gonna pop up on you, so you gotta keep watching. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at the In Love Show at Love and Sunshine Media. Thank you. They're the producers of my show. And of course, me, your girl and conversationalist, Nicole Rochelle. The name is spelled correctly across the screen. So girl, yes. All right, so again, Tammy, thank you so much. Ryan, I don't know where he went, but make sure you
You're
check out
welcome.
Closet for all of your fashion needs. He's doing a lot of big things in Houston, Texas, as well as outside of Houston, Texas. So this is a great place to network, great place to connect. But that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye.
Appreciate you, my close friends. I love you so much, Holly, Sheila, cousin, uncle, all y'all that chimed in. I appreciate you. Make sure you share and tell somebody, okay? Because they need to chime in too. Okay.
Right.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you stay tuned to see what time and what topic. Until then, I'm Nicole Rochelle. Make sure to keep all things love.
Bye.
Bye.